let's now have a look at what an essay under exam conditions looks like. And I guess when I'm talking about essay writing here, we can apply many of these points more generally. But let's start by thinking about actually preparing for an unseen exam under exam conditions where you've got to write an essay. Firstly, in that situation of the exam, you don't have a lot of time to think. You need to be working really quickly straight from the off. So you need to know your subject knowledge, and let's work through some tips around that. Firstly, you need strategy to carry you forward successfully in times of pressure. Writing under pressure is part of the task. Prepare yourself in advance for this exam. You don't go into exams of this type with an unseen, externally written question and unfamiliar stimulus items without doing your homework first. Be prepared. There'll be work beforehand, but you'll be much, much happier doing the task, and you'll feel much more able to respond to anything any marker, any examiner, any assessor will throw at you. In your preparation, prepare for the unexpected. No matter how good your teachers are, when we have an externally written exam, we don't know the direction that the paper will go. We can try and anticipate it a little bit, but we really, genuinely can't be certain. That's you, the student, and me, the teacher. So we have to be prepared for something that's a bit left field, something you're not seeing coming. Remember, in the exam, you don't want to be sitting there going, oh, what was that term again? What's the word? How do I spell it? Oh, how do these concepts connect? You need to know the content of your work before you get into the exam. Know it in advance. You can practice it, drill it, read books, watch videos. Be really comfortable and confident in your knowledge. You probably won't be able to express everything you need to know in the exam, but because you don't know the direction it's going, you really, really just have to be so comfortable with the content for your essay. Now, here are some possible tips for how you might prepare for this type of exam. Get into your study early. Don't leave it till last minute. You'll find over a term or over a semester of work, you've got too much information to get your head around in a short period of time. Any revision tasks you can get your hands on, do them. Simple as that. In New South Wales and Victoria, where they do external exams, they'll go and look at other books, other textbooks. They'll go online, find American quizzes, British quizzes. They don't care who's doing similar type topics. They give it a go. They're preparing for the unexpected. Practice, practice, practice. Go back and find any incomplete tasks in your classwork. Sometimes in class, we don't do everything that is a possibility. Teachers will adapt in the moment, think, all right, this is the right task to do now, but we won't attempt that one. All of the tasks will probably have some value. Go back, do the undone stuff, the incomplete tasks. Have a crack at them. Practice your writing, practice your source analysis, practice other skills. Any opportunity you can get to deal with sources, go for it. So in this unit, remember there's a couple of textbooks that I've put into our content library that you can go and have a look at. Some of them are chock-a-block full of source material. Go and have a play with that. You never know. You might be going to the source where the teacher found some. The examiner found some. All right, watch videos related to the topic. Things like Khan Academy. Go and watch the videos that I've produced. Go and look at other short videos. If there's TED Talks, now be conscious of the source, especially if you're going onto YouTube. Think about who's producing it and do they really know what they're talking about? Are they a bit wacky? When we start talking Nazis, there's some crazies out there who get right into this stuff. So while you weigh up the type of sources you're going to online and the videos you consult, use them. Find good ones. Consider how they fit into your work. Okay, read from textbooks on the topic. Perhaps attempt some of the tasks. Often textbooks have end of the chapter questions. Give them a go. Keep preparing for the unexpected. Okay, next, know the genre of history writing. Okay, no-brainer, third person. Secondly, it's history. We talk about things in the past tense. Finally, our style of writing is not persuasive. It might feel like it at times, but it's not emotional. It's not all very much about your feelings, subjective. It's objective, almost scientific in style. It's analytical, you're breaking down information. You're picking things apart. It's evaluative, you're weighing information up. It's very academic in style. It's argumentative in voice. You're using evidence to make a point. So by argumentative, I'd suggest it's a little bit like a legal case where a barrister in court is arguing a point of view. It's a little bit like debating in a high-quality debate where you're presenting a case and prosecuting it with evidence. So that's our style. And it might be worth you pausing and thinking about this diagram here. Broadly speaking, a history essay has a very, very clear argument section, an introduction section, and a conclusion section. Very clear 3 sections. Now, introduction, body, conclusion. Your body is usually made up of a number of peel paragraphs. It doesn't have to be 3. Often teachers draw a diagram of the body with 3 body paragraphs, as I have here in this diagram, but it doesn't have to be 3. You need a section, not necessarily a paragraph, a section for each of your main arguments. When we draw it up, 3 often looks good. So have your head around that structure and then know that diagram is only a model. It doesn't always look like that. Sometimes you've got an introduction, some extended background, then only a couple of arguments that come back to a conclusion. Sometimes there's a chain of logic from one to another, to another, to another. Sometimes it's almost chronological. But there is always a structure of introduction, body, conclusion. Okay. The next point we're going to go into is how to write an introduction. So think about this diagram, think about the structures, and in the next video we're going to talk about the introduction, and there's going to be a very important follow-on part from that, how to write the most important sentence in your entire essay under exam conditions, the hypothesis. So thank you. Let's move on to other topics in a moment.